Welcome back, my name is Benji. For the entirety of this year we've played Pro Cycling Manager 2021 and we've recently had a look at the new features of PCM 2022. But today, I'll go back to PCM 2006 and I'll take a look what has changed since then, at least when it comes to the career mode interface. Obviously on Pro Cycling Manager 2021 we start our career as a team. On Pro Cycling Manager 2006 you started your career mode not by selecting your team but first by making a manager. And after that you've got a very simplified skill tree for your manager. You could allocate 8 points between 4 categories from man management, finance, management to youth development. And once you've made your initial manager, that's when your team selection happens. Funny enough, Discovery Channel was called Lost Channel in this game because they did not have the license, as with a lot of the riders and the teams in this game. For the sake of this video, I'll become the manager of Quickstep Energetic led by Tom Bonen. Back in the day, he was a young 25-year-old with 84 cobblestones, already one of the best in the world, 84 sprint as well, again, one of the very best in the world. After selecting our squad, we have the role selection page. This is where it gets interesting. 2 years ago, Pro Cycling Manager 2020 was released with the big announcement, the introduction of the morale system. Reality is that was already in the game 14 years before that, in 2006, as you can see. And sadly, Tom Bonen is bloody depressed. That's pretty sad as well, because he's got the status of a teammate. Obviously, this man is our leader, so absolute leader is what he should be given, and we confirmed that, and now he's happy. It does have an effect on the other riders, which I love. If Bonen takes the lead, there's gonna be some other riders that are frustrated. There's also going to be other riders that are happy for him. Looks like Bettini is also pretty sad. Co-leader, let's see what that does. Oh my god, a huge impact on the team. Almost everybody's happy. Here we go then, the career interface. Oh my god, this brings back so much nostalgia. Let's go through the tabs at the top a bit. First of all, we are on the news page. Let's go towards the manager page. Basically, the more stuff we do, the more XP a manager gets, and as a consequence we can get better as a manager, which I love. On Pro Cycling Manager 2006 you could change your team at the end of the season. Because you are a manager and not a team, that's possible. It physically hurts me that this is not in the newer games and I don't know why. It's such a good feature. Also simply because it allows you to be sacked if you do badly. That way you will be forced to look for a different team. Anyway, there's also the achievements page on which you can see your team and your previous teams in the career mode. Next up we've got goals under the manager tab. Oh, it's just your team goals, okay. Just like in the newer Pro Cycling Manager games, you've got multiple season goals and important races. Only 5 season goals on this game though. All these influence your sponsor confidence, so it's not too much different from the new games. Just like I told you when it comes to the changing teams, I do believe you can get sacked from your squad in this game. Onto the team tab with the finances. Okay, a basic overview. One thing we don't have now is that in this game you had loans. You can take out 3 loans during your career. I think you can get sacked from your team if you don't have money. I'm pretty sure that happened to me multiple times when I was a kid. Next to that, you can also apply for multiple secondary sponsors. For example, if I want a big bank, Bank Deutschland, as my sponsor, I can contact them, request send. I'll do the same with Deleuze, which is a food company or at least a grocery store in Belgium. I simply asked every single Belgian brand to sponsor me, so let's see what that does in the future. Nothing's too new about the staff page. Looks like there's also a negotiations page with the overview of everybody's contract in your squad. Anyway, on to the riders. We've got the overview of their stats and the morale, a regular season and contract overview of the rider, and also the condition of the riders when it comes to their fitness, but there's also an experience column here. Does that mean that riders went up in level back in the day on PCM 2006 the more they rode? When it comes to the training tab, you could choose between manual training and also automatic training. I'm pretty sure I always went with automatic because there's no way in hell I would micromanage it so deeply. And just like in the newer PCMs, you can assign a specialization and a trainer towards a rider when it comes to their training. It does look like Sergio Bagé is not too happy with his training at the moment. He's very bad effectiveness, the trainer, because he's got way too many riders under him. Training cams hasn't changed too much since PCM 2006 in my opinion. In the new version, you can't do very specific stat-related training cams. In PCM 2006, you could go towards a cobblestone training cam to have a temporary boost of the stats there. Now this is what's most intriguing. Back on Pro Cycling Manager 2006, 16 years ago, we already had scouting in the game. Last week, Pro Cycling Manager 2022 had the announcement of having the flagship feature of introducing a new scouting system. We can click on a region like Northern France, duration of 45 days, rider profiles, fighter Northern Classics, and relatively low potential. We're going to be assigning our scout to that. There we go. The next tab is detection of pros. Okay, you could also scout riders that already have a pro contract. Looks like there was a specific page for injuries of your team and then for the other teams. Okay. And I think the search page is where we were looking for riders or transfers back in the day. I could be wrong, but I vaguely remember that you could actually sign people in the first few days in a career mode somewhere between PCM 2006 and 2010. Let's give that a quick try with 2 riders. Igor Abakumov, contact, there we go. He confirms the reception of my requests. Next up, Abe Yoshiyuki. Let's do that. Contact, and the same thing. Why did I do both? Well, actually, it's because I don't know if it's only free riders or also contracted riders. There's also a second search tab with just the stats of the riders. This is where it gets intriguing. People love this equipment system in the game. It is somewhat unrealistic that you could choose between multiple brands when it comes to your frames, wheels, and helmets. Looks like you get the default frame at first and you need to buy the other ones. Yeah, that's kind of intriguing. It kind of added a new progression system, but on the other hand, it's not really how cycling works in real life. Or does it? They technically have to pay for development. I'm not so sold on this system, but then again, I'm also not sold on the new equipment system in PCM 2021. Same goes for wheels and helmets. Onto the calendar page, we have our races. 4 races in January, Australian Champs, we've got Tour of Australia, Doha International GP, and the Tour of Qatar. We are currently not invited for the Tour of Australia, the Down Under. I'll go ahead and request an invitation. Why not? We need to pay 6k for the trip. I'm fine with that. It looks like when it comes to the upcoming races that we've got the biggest races on our menu, the automatic invitations for the World Tour races like the Tour de France. Just like in the newer PCMs, you've got a page for the season stats and an honors list. Pretty sure this is just an overview of the highlights of every team. Anyway, we took a look at all the tabs. Let's go through the days and let's see what happens in the coming days of our career mode. Oh my god, we got 37 emails in one night. That's crazy. We're getting an email for every single rider when it comes to their program. There is no planner in this game, so when we go to the rider, we've got the program which the rider wants to ride. In January, Bettini wants to ride whatever. Not going to lie, I kind of like having a page where the riders say what they would like to ride. It gives a lot more personality to the riders you have in your team. Then when they don't get those races, that's when the morale could kick in. Looks like the companies we contacted for sponsorships returned an email. Bank Deutschland is not interested. Me neither in you, my friend. The Laser wants to sign a contract. 24 months at 17.75k per month. Let's sign that. We've got another sponsor. Let's do that. And another one. Money in the pocket of my squad. Wait a second. Looks like we've also got responses when it comes to our transfers. We asked to talk with multiple riders and it looks like one of them is willing to talk with us, the one without a contract. That's probably the reason why he wants to talk to us. Apparently this man thinks he can set the meeting whenever he wants, the 5th of January. That's crazy. Oh, okay. We can only have 3 secondary sponsors. I might have accepted like 11. Oh, lovely. 3 empty emails. To win today's race. Well, there's no plan in here. How am I supposed to know how to win today's race if there's nothing in the bloody email? There wasn't even a race that day! Perhaps that's why the email was empty. Anyway, looks like Abakumov is here on the 5th of January for his meeting. Start the meeting with the man. Why is there a timer at the top? Oh my god, it's actually counting down. We've got limited time to talk to this guy. He wants a salary of 3.45k. Nah, my friend. 3k is max I'll go. A contract for 1 year because you're useless and you're gonna be a teammate. And you will ride no tours at all. Break off negotiations? No. Oh, I just clicked this checkbox and he's not happy with 3k, so we gotta up that to 3.1, I guess. He's not happy still. Oh my god, every time we try, time goes off the meeting. 3.45k, that's what he wanted. Let's just do everything he wanted. There we go, and then 2007, there we go. He has agreed. Okay, we've got a rider. Thing is, how did he have negotiation power over me? He's literally uncontracted. This makes no sense. Anyway, we'll sign the guy. There we go. Igor Abakumov has joined the team. I actually don't know what this guy does. He's actually not too terrible when it comes to sprinting, but the rest of his stats are actual garbage. Unfortunately, that's where this career mode ends because my game crashes every time I go past the Australian Championships. So, how much do you think the career interface of Pro Cycling Manager has changed in the last 16 years? We did not really have a season planner, so that's something that certainly changed over the years. but you can't get sacked because you're not starting this career mode as a manager but as a team. Next to that, you can also not change your team in PCM 2021. Equipment is quite different, but it's more realistic towards how it is in real life, where you have contracts with specific suppliers. Back in the day, we did not have U23 development teams, so that's an improvement. There was no objective system in the past, nor a season planner. In other words, a lot has changed, but I feel like there's quite some features that were in Pro Cycling Manager games in the past that were better features back then. For example, I really like the morale that I showed on PCM 2006, where changing the role of a rider can impact the entire team's atmosphere. Anyway, that's about it for this video. What is your take on this? Do you feel like a lot has changed? What parts of PCM 2006 do you like more? What parts of 2021 do you like more? All of that, drop it in the comment sections. I want your opinion below. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.